NAMM 2020, and Pioneer just released their new mixer, 6 channels. So what is it all about?
So new 6-channel mixer designed for the DJ producer type that wants to incorporate like more musical instruments such as like drum machines, synthesizers. Also for back-to-back duo DJs, having more channels and also a dual headphone output with dual headphone queuing, so each DJ can queue independently. So you got 4-band EQ on each channel. The highs and the lows act as full isolators, so you can still get a really nice high and low cut with the high and lows. And then the 2 mids are finely tuned, standard EQ curves. We've updated the filter section. The filter is completely independent from the other effects, like the 900 Nexus 2. And I would like to say that we don't consider this a replacement for the 900 Nexus 2. It's pretty much a new breed of mixer, if you will. But
it is a new thing, like you can connect way more gear to this thing, right? And especially on live sets, what you said, like connecting external MIDI gear, for example, this is a really good fit, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it also has dual audio interfaces, and you can do MIDI over the USB, and it also has a 5-pin MIDI on the back. And that 5-pin MIDI is pretty powerful because it actually gets the clock from our beat effects. So even if you're playing like a vinyl record, our beat effects is going to detect the BPM of that, and you'll be able to send that MIDI clock. But if you are using Rekordbox analyzed tracks from a CDJ that is linked in, then you're going to get that beat grid from Rekordbox and be able to send that out MIDI clock. So keeping external hardware such as sequencers and drum machines locked to the BPM of this mixer is going to be very easy.
And do you think like the future mixers will also have like a 4-band EQ?
Yeah, I think we'll probably still continue with a 3-band EQ. I mean, I'm not sure specifically exactly what their plans are, but I know that we want to have the very more easy club standard approachable mixer like the 900 Nexus 2 is still going to be like a club standard that we are going to push. But for this particular type of DJ, we wanted to have more flexibility for sculpting your sound. So like if you want to run vocals on a track and just your kick drum on another track and maybe just your bass on another track, you have more tools to really sculpt that. The effects, when you're running the beat effects, you can, for each different effect, you can choose whether you want the low frequencies affected or not.
Oh, that's crazy. So you can select the effect in the low, mid, or high frequencies.
Yeah, so you can choose which frequencies will be affected, and we've had that on the 900 Nexus 2, and we've had that on our EFX, and RMXs of the past. But what's interesting and new about this mixer is you can go in to the settings here, and you can choose basically your own presets, if you will. Like say if on a flanger I do not want the lows on, or on an echo if I want it always to be on a 3/4 beat and the lows to be disabled when I first turn to the echo, I can set all those settings and I can save those to a flash drive. So when DJs step into a club, they pop in the flash drive here. As they change through their effects, it's already dialed in exactly to what they need, just kind of saving a step for them.
It's super customizable, and
yes.
You not only bring your own music, but now only as well your own effects. So it comes closer to what you do in the studio, right?
Oh, totally. And then, the send effects is an amazing new concept as well. So a lot of DJs in this realm, it became very popular to bring guitar pedal effects and their own effects to the stage. So we really looked at the most popular effects that a lot of those DJs were utilizing, and we actually built those effects into the mixer itself. So we have a short delay and a long delay, a dub echo, and a reverb. So you can almost kind of consider those like our own built-in guitar pedal effects, and you've got 4 parameters here that you can really tweak the parameters of those effects. But we also have 2 additional send and returns on the back that you can also send out to your own effects that you may want to bring with you. But what's super powerful is you can engage all 3 of them at the same time. So turning a send knob can be going out to external effects and coming back, plus running the built-in effects. And then when those effects are coming back into the mixer, you can choose to send those to the master mix by engaging this button here, Or if you have spare channels left over, you can send those effects into a spare channel, which would then allow you to take that wet signal and apply a beat effect to it, or EQ it further, or apply the compressor to that wet signal. So it's really flexible, and I think it's, in a way, it's almost its own instrument in itself. Like what one DJ does with it is going to be totally different than what another DJ can do with it. It's very flexible in that manner.
You can really master your own style with this. And the compression function, like how does that work?
So it's actually a very, very interesting way that they incorporated that. The cool thing about it is you really can't mess up with it, if you will. Like it's designed, so a common thing is like if you're playing like a brand new mastered track by today's productions techniques, the perceived loudness of that track is going to be very loud and very powerful. But if you play like an older classic record or something, the perceived loudness of that may not stand up to it. So essentially the compressor now, you can actually increase the compressor and it gets louder to your ears, but it does not increase the gain on the meters whatsoever. It's just removing that dynamic range. And it's pretty interesting because your trim basically becomes your threshold for the compressor, and then as you turn the compressor up, you're adjusting the ratio and the makeup gain, and then once you get to a particular level on the compressor, it just basically becomes like a brick wall limiter. So you can really crank up and really beef up a dance track with it.
And I think with like if people play old disco tunes, old techno, they play a techno set and they want to play old tunes like from vinyl or something, then it's something that is really helpful, especially in those cases, I think.
Yeah, it really brings like a lot of those recordings to life. And even when I've been messing with it with our DJS-1000 sampler, you know, if you're using just raw samples, sometimes that can sound a little weak coming into the mix, but like taking like something loaded up with like 909 samples or something and then just cranking that up, it just really infuses a lot of life into the entire mix of it. So it's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you.